Hello, card friends. I'm Chaz.
And I'm Alexi.
And this is
Rainbow
Rainbow Reversed. Today we're going to be talking about episode 7 of Cardfight, Vanguard, overdress. I feel like this is going to be a quick one.
Yeah,
You know, it was a very cute episode.
it was.
And it makes me think something really bad is about to happen.
It does have Kamina vibes. It feels like it's building up to something not good.
Hashtag Donji dies.
Oh.
That's my prediction, and I'm sticking to it. I'm gonna stay on hashtag Donji dies until I'm proven otherwise. And, you know, I think this episode will help make it sadder when Donji dies, because the two of them, you know, they had their bond. Yu and Donji.
If he dies, not when.
If he doesn't die, then maybe it's building to some larger emotional climax, but we can get there in a moment. Let's start out with the beginning of the episode. We see Toya still sad and dejected after losing to Yu, and Yu witnesses Toya's sadness. And Yu goes into the next morning and is eating his cereal, and he's like, it's all soggy. So sad and depressed, just sitting alone in his kitchen. And then, cue theme song.
I love me some slice of life. I like that whole pie, but here's the thing. Having pie for every meal, sometimes you want to change it up a little bit, you know? And we did get a little bit of a change last week. We had a bit of a savory pie. Like, I don't know. It was different, but the whole slice of life lack of real conflict thing is starting to turn me off a little bit.
I think last week's episode was excellent.
Yeah, it was.
Episode 6 got the fire burning. Episode 7 kind of slows things down a little bit. And hopefully it's in service of moving towards something bigger happening. So Yu gets sick, basically, has a bit of a fever, cold, brought on by stress, which I can only assume can be Yu musing over Toya's sadness.
My poor boy.
Donji elects to take care of Yu after some shenanigans at the park with Tamari.
And he takes care of him by buying him a teddy bear. And I live for it.
Yeah, he has a very childish way of taking care of Yu. Though he does allude to it having been a while since he's had to take care of someone who was sick. Which kind of brings me back to one of our earlier theories from a couple episodes ago that Donji had some sort of younger person in his life who has since passed, presumably now because of illness. So I think this is kind of making him think of that again.
At some point in the episode, Donji says, I want to take care of you while I still can. And that could be two things, or a combination of the two, I guess. One being that it's leading up to Donji dying.
Hashtag Donji dies.
I'll say you're probably right. But also, it could just be, Donji had this younger, person in his life that he was taking care of that died. It could be a combination of the two,
He's saying, I'll take care of you while I still can.
Yeah.
In allusion to the possibility of you dying or something.
Or like he's like, something bad happens to him once. He's like, oh, it's gonna happen again. I have another, younger person in my life that I'm taking care of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think Yu's gonna die. Yu's the main character.
Yeah,
I'm
so
saying
maybe
that Donji is like,
Yeah.
what if that happened to me again? Yeah, I agree with you.
Or maybe it's also alluding to Donji dying in the future. It's a little foreshadowing or something.
Hashtag Donji dies. But we do get, some cute stuff of Donji, like, making Yu food and trying to nurse him back to health. We get the friends come over and give Yu some gifts and hang out for a little bit before they all leave. And once Yuyu's feeling a little better, Donji and Yuyu play a little bit of Vanguard. And Yuyu talks about how he feels sad about seeing Toya's suffering. But we do get a quick flash to Masanori and Toya's room that it looks like they share.
And there's only one
and there's
bed.
only one bed. But Masanori's kind of like, oh, I'm glad to see that look back in his eyes. Although the look in Toya's eyes is a little deranged. It's not like a, wow, I love Vanguard. It's like a, oh, I've got to get good at this. You know,
Same.
Like a hunger. It looked voracious.
That's a hard same.
Voracious look in Toya's eyes. So
I did like the parallel or the contrast between the two scenarios, Donji and Yuyu hanging out, being boyfriends, having a good time playing Vanguard, and then Masanori and Toya hanging out, being boyfriends and having an edgy time.
just Masanori plaintively watching Toya go through his cards manically.
You know what? Both those scenarios kind of reminded me of us. 'Cause...
Yeah, you want to put that out there for everyone to hear about?
What? I'm not saying you're the one who's manically looking through your deck. I will admit that's kind of my thing, but I just meant, you know, Donji and Yuyu hanging out, doing laundry together, playing Vanguard, cooking, you know. It's like, oh, us.
Yeah, you were a little sick this week, and I did have to nurse you back to health, so, you know, we do have that in common.
And you didn't buy me a teddy bear.
You're right, but I bought you Vanguard cards, so, you know.
This is true.
It equals out.
Yeah, it balances out.
But they play, they have some fun. Donji wins, Yuyu feels a little better. The next morning they wake up. Yuyu wakes up first to make Donji breakfast. He sees Donji was looking up something on his phone. I'm not sure what it was because it was in Japanese and they didn't show us any translations in the subtitles. I can only assume it was maybe him like looking up how to like take care of Yuyu maybe, or something to Yuyu's benefit in some way, because Yuyu looked happy upon seeing whatever it was. And then Donji wakes up and they eat, and then Tamari and Zakusa break into Donji's apartment. She talks about how she picked the lock.
She calls Zakusa Zaki.
Yeah, they go to Hachiban Ramen. They have a big meal since Yu's feeling better. And
she calls Zakusa Zaki.
Yes, it was very adorable.
Yes. Something that I liked about this episode, like sort of seeing the behind the scenes of Donji's life, is that like Donji is this guy that all his friends kind of put on a pedestal and idealize, and seeing sort of that he's just a normal dude.
It's just some dude.
Spending all his money on Vanguard cards.
Yeah, he's got this crappy little studio apartment covered with like presumably like music and movie posters. Even though he works like 20 jobs, my dude is still broke.
It's all going to Vanguard.
But you do see in the background just this whole bookshelf covered in like boxes of those like long black boxes everyone has of the Vanguard cards.
Which also reminded me of us.
So you know he's got his priorities straight. But that's really where the episode ends. They're just eating the ramen and hanging out.
Yeah.
But
that's about it.
Yeah. It was like this cute little episode of Donji nursing Yuyu back to health and them bonding a lot, which, again, my suspicion is something terrible will happen very shortly, and this is the happy build-up.
Yeah.
So that way when the bad stuff happens, we feel like it's being ripped away from us.
It's just even more devastating.
Exactly. That's my theory for now. Who knows? I mean, maybe we'll go into the next episode and it'll just be more hanging out. And then the next episode will just be more hanging out. And then the next episode will just be more hanging out. And it's just them falling in love and having a good time. But if I'm right, they're building up to tear it all away from us.
Well, this season is gonna be split in half, like released in 2 parts.
Yeah, essentially, I believe they're marketing it as season 1 and 2, but to me, it just reads as like a longer 25 episode season that is split into 2.
So maybe like the first season is, you know, world building, introducing characters, getting to know them, that kind of thing. And then last episode, the first part or the first season is when it all goes to hell, and it keeps everyone just dying for that second part of the season to come out.
Maybe they could drag this out to the end of the season. That is true. I would like some drama to start happening a little earlier than like episode 12.
Yeah.
We're about to go into episode 8 with this next week. I would like things to start picking up at least a little bit. You know, put a little heat on it. You know, it doesn't have to like just suddenly drop into big drama, but give me some more. Build me up a little bit.
I also want to see everyone card fight. We haven't seen Masunori or Tamari or Zakusa fight at all. And it kind of bums me out because those are really cool decks that I want to see in action.
Yeah, they show them card fighting in the intro, but we never actually see them card fighting. Not even just like the background, like casual card fights that kind of happen as the story's happening. Like you just like Zakusa is just kind of hanging out. Tamari's always doing the commentary when there is any card fighting going on. So it's like we don't even see them just kind of sitting at a table playing cards while like a scene's happening or something. Like similar to how Yu and Danji in this episode are playing Vanguard during one of the scenes, but they're talking about other stuff. There's a little more different things going on. It's like we haven't even seen like that much of like those other characters. So hoping to see some of that in action soon. Bring back some fight sequences.
Yes.
I'm hoping, you know, next episode, maybe we'll kick it back up a little. I think at least by the time we get to those double digits, we hit episode 10, I feel like something has to give. Well, that's all our thoughts for this week's episode. A little on the shorter side. It was a cute episode, but just not as much to talk about overall. Not as much to speculate on other than #Danji dies. But that's all for now. Thank you all for watching. We've been Rainbow Reverse, wishing you all the best.
Bye.